Hi and welcome to another LiquidFiles video. In this video we are going to migrate a LiquidFiles system to a new system, and in this case we are going to complete the installation. So the reason we want to do this is because on this system we want to use a separate data disk. So if you want to use a separate data disk or data disk, depending on where in the world you are, or you want to use an NFS server or anything like that, then you have to complete the getting started function so you get access to the system and can configure your data storage before you start the migration. So in this case we are going to migrate this system, a test system that we're using that calls files.liquidftest.com, with this license key, and we as you can see the warning, so we want to migrate this, and in order to migrate this we have to set up this system with the same public host name and the same license key, and then we can get access to this system and complete the migration. So we'll begin, we'll read through this carefully and then accept the license agreement. If this wasn't the test, we'll set the correct time zone. In this case we're happy with this. So here we are, we have to use the same public host name. And we're happy with this configuration. We call this the same. This is not important because this will be overwritten by anything that you already have. Now here is important thing. You cannot use a trial license, a demo license. You cannot use a demo license when doing migrations. You have to use a production license. So here we want to use the same license code. So now the systems are almost identical. So we'll create a sysadmin account, sysadmin test.com, give it a password. And the certificate will have been regenerated. And we are logged on. So now in this case we are going to go to the data disk, and as you can see we have another data disk available on this system, which is the one that we want to change to. So we are going to do this first. We can see here physical disk. So we have the SDA disk, which is the currently installed one, and we have an SDB, which is the data disk that we want to be using, and so we will do this first and reboot to continue. So in this case we're going to reboot and wait for the system to come up again. When the system has come back online, we can reload this page and we can see that we have now completed the data disk configuration. So now we have a separate data disk, and we can also see here that the SDB system is mounted under data. So we are now free to continue with the migration. So in order to complete this migration now, we need console access. So in order to get console access on a LiquidFiles version 4 and later system, we have to use SSH keys. So here I am going to paste an SSH key, and I can now log on to this system using this SSH key. So we're at So now we can open another terminal window and log into this system. We want to log into port 222 using the LiquidFiles account and then pasted this IP address to this system. So now we're logged on to this system. We can run sudo bash to become root. So now we're logged on as root on the destination system that we want to migrate to. So on this system, the current files liquidftest.com. First, we need to connect with an IP address because this system now also thinks that it calls files.liquidftest.com. So we need to use the IP address when we're connecting to these systems. We just have this here for future reference. We'll need in a second, and then we'll run the ft-migrate command. And in this case, we want to migrate from this system. We want to disable the system so no one else logs on. We can copy this password. So we want to connect to 172.16.5.128. So now when we're running the ft-migrate command, we want to migrate to this system. Do you want to continue? Yes. We are running from 16.5.128, and the password is the password that I copied a second ago. We can copy SSL certificates, and all should be well. Awesome, connection succeeded. And everything looks good. We don't want to abort, so we'll wait the 10 seconds. And then watch this progress here. Some files have been copied. We're restoring the database, running a database migration because the database has changed slightly in LiquidFiles version 4 with some new functionality, or changed functionality in some cases. We're now restoring the certificates, and the migration is completed. So obviously, depending on how much data you have to copy, this will take longer or shorter, and you can use like the amount of data that you have, and this will go with pretty much line speed. So if you have like a 10 megabyte per second network connection in between, then you can use that to give you a rough calculation on how fast this copying of data will take. With a large database, the migrations and things will take a little bit longer as well. But now we have completed, and now we can see that when we now reload this, we will get another warning because the certificate has now changed. We can see that the certificate is not valid because now the certificate is actually files.liquidftest.com, so the one that we copied from the previous system. So there you have it. That's a migration using first to log on to the system so that we can create data. In this case, a data disk before the migration. Before we start the migration, you can use the same if you want to use an NFS server. So hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon for more LiquidFiles videos. Thank you.